Hi, I'm JR with Lifetime Nut Covers. I'm going to show you how to install a set of our billet aluminum chrome plated oil hubs on your truck today. So what you guys are going to need here is just some simple tools. You're going to need a 1/2 inch socket with a ratchet, or you can use a buzz gun, however you want to do it. And then to reinstall it, you're going to need a 1/4 inch Allen head ratchet to go on there to put your Allen studs back in. We'll just get started and I'll show you how to install. Alright, so to start this, you're going to want to use yourself a piece of cardboard. It just makes it easier, makes less of a mess and everything on here. Easiest thing we found, just use a beer box, cut it to shape, whatever you want. Basically what you're doing is you're using this as a funnel. You're going to lay this in here just like that, so when you take the cap off, your oil will just drain out of here and drain down into a pan here so it doesn't make a mess inside the lid. So you're just going to grab your 1/2 inch socket, whether you put it in a buzz gun, ratchet. If these haven't been off before, I would probably put a ratchet on here just to kind of help with things, just to make sure you don't snap a bolt or something with your buzz gun. So just loosen them with a ratchet, and then you can use one of these if you want. So just before you get everything off here, what you're going to want to do is you're basically going to want to preset like all your bolts and everything that come in the kit. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put a dab of blue Loctite on. We don't include it, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take every one of these and you're going to put a dab on them so they're preset, they're already done. So when you pull this one off, you can just swap it off there quick, put the new one back on, just make it a quick thing. So when you put your blue Loctite on there, you just want a small dab on there. You don't want to cover the whole bolt. You just want a small dab on there, so that way it does not come loose on you. Okay, so now in the oil hub kit, you're going to be included with a gasket. You do not need to put silicone on the gasket. We normally put a couple dabs on there just to make sure that everything seals up correctly. It's not something you have to do, but it's recommended by us, I guess, if you put a couple dabs of silicone on there. So what I do is you'll put just a couple dabs in these flat areas. And you're going to do this on both sides, just to make sure you get a good seal on here. So basically all you need to do is have roughly that. And then what you're going to do, let's say you're going to take and you're going to spit on your finger so that way the silicone does not stick to your finger. So just lick the end of your finger and then take and smear the silicone back and forth and fill the areas with silicone. So you just have a very thin layer of silicone on this gasket. It's just going to help everything adhere a little better, make sure that you don't have any leaks. It's better to do things one time than do them 10 times. So you don't want big globs of silicone on there. You're basically just putting a nice thin layer of silicone across the whole entire thing for both sides. Now that you have that done, you're going to take 2 of your Allen heads. You're going to stick them through the oil hub, just like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the gasket and you're going to set this on here. And you just use the 2 studs to align it. Now your silicone on here will actually just hold itself. It'll make the gasket hold itself to the oil hub. And you want to have your 1/4 inch Allen driver ready. That way when you put that up there, you can spin it on with this quick, snug everything up, you won't leak any more oil out. So you want to have a couple rags ready to do this. Just fold them up, just kind of make a nice small area here with the rag. You have the 1 bolt left in here. So have your rag ready. And when you take this cap off, you're only going to get about a paint cap full of oil that will come out. It slowly drains out of here. So once we take this off, you're not going to have a huge oily mess here. It's just going to like dribble out. So take that off. You can hold it on there. You're going to grab your rag and you'll pull the old cap off. Keep the oil that's in there just to keep it out of your way. Now what you're going to do here, like I said, this will run out just a little bit. It's not going to be very aggressive here. So you're just going to take this oil cap, have it sitting right here in line. You're going to take your rag, you're going to wipe this whole surface and wipe the oil off there. Just wipe that surface off nice and clean. Do it real fast. Put your other oil cap on, line your bolts up, stick it on tight. Now you're not going to have any oil that comes out. So you'll take your 1/4 inch Allen, drive them in so they go in nice and easy. And you're just going to put them in to where they're nice and snug. And now that you have 2 in there, it's on, it's lined up, everything's good. You can just take the rest of your Allen heads, and you can just slowly put everything in, whatever order you want, however you want to do it. The biggest thing is just to get this oil cap on here without making a huge mess. So by having the 2 Allen heads in there, this helps out a lot. Just to do things really fast, because your front oil grease is actually a very heavy grease. So it's not like a regular engine oil that you drain out. It's not just going to run out in piles. It's going to just ooze out nice and slow. So now that you have that taken care of, you can take your little funnel deal off, everything be out of your way, and see we don't have any mess here. Everything's nice and clean, and we just change it in the shop in a couple minutes here. I mean, it's very simple. So like I said, you'll just snug these things up with a buzz gun if you're going to use that. Otherwise, you want to use a ratchet afterwards. You're just going to go to every single one. And you can do it in a star pattern. You can just go straight around, doesn't really matter. And you just want to get these nice and snug. So you can see right here where you see the silicone pressing out just a little bit as I tighten it. That means that it's getting just enough there that it's spreading everything out and it's making a good contact between the part and the gasket. Like I said, these do not have to be super tight by any means. With the Loctite on there, that holds them. So you'll be able to see, get this last one nice and snug. And always go back to your very first one you started with and double check that one. And you see around this outside edge where the silicone pressed out just a little bit, kind of makes a little bubble around there. So you're just going to take a rag, or you can take your finger, it doesn't matter. You can take your finger, it's just easier, and just press it in there and just run all the way around the cap. And what you're doing is just clean up that little extra that spit out of there. So these are all the Allen caps. These come in the kit. What you do is you put these inside the Allen bolts that install and hold on the oil hub. What it is because you cannot actually put chrome into a hole on an Allen bolt, so we include these so you can put it into the Allen head so you'll never see any of the flaws on the chrome plated Allen head. Now the best thing that we have found is just use a 1/4 inch drive extension that actually sits on top of these very well. So you'll set them in there with your hand and you'll just take the extension and press it down on top of it like that, and you'll just press them into the Allen head. So you take the Allen cap and just slightly stick it in there and it'll fall right in. It will start and align itself. You'll stick it up here and just keep turning it and it will fall into the Allen side. Now once that's in there, all you need to do is take the 1/4 inch ratchet extension and just set it up there and just pop them in. Okay, the absolute very last step in putting our oil hubs on is to refill the oil hub. So any oil that ran out during the changing of this, you want to fill it back up. We prefer to use Lucas oil hub stop leak. We just have always used it. It's what we prefer, but whatever you're running in your front axle is what you can fill it back up with. So basically you're going to take this and just put it back in there. You're going to fill it up. You're going to let it sit for 10-15 minutes because you can fill it a little higher. You're going to fill it about to the bottom of this hole, and it'll actually settle its way down as it works its way back into the bearings. On our window oil hubs, the other full ones, the chrome ones, don't have that. The best option, what you do is take your finger and just stick it inside the hole. 1/4 inch is all you really need. Sticking down in there, that's where your oil level should be. As long as your oil is not up to the hole, whether it's in our billet ones or our window ones, you don't want the oil all the way up here into this hole. You actually want it down just a little bit from where the plug goes into these. So you'll fill that, let everything settle, let it sit for about 10 minutes or so, and then come back to it and then fill it again and make sure you got the appropriate line. Sometimes this takes 2-3 times. It's just depending on how much oil you lost in the changing of this or how low your oil was to begin with. So basically that's the last step in here. You just fill that back full of oil, get it to the designated height. Once you're done with that, you're going to take the included plug that we throw in with these, and you'll take that after oil level is correct, and you'll just press it inside here. And you're all set. Now you've fully installed a complete set of billet aluminum oil hubs.